All right. I do believe we are live. So let's just make sure that everything is good. If I am live, let's go. What's up, YouTube family? Sorry for making you guys wait. I know it's been 10 minutes since I said I was going to go live. And, technical difficulties. Oh, and then I also have my other screen up that's making too much noise. So give me 1 second, guys. There we go. We don't want that in the background. I'm sure you heard. So it's been a minute since I went live with you guys. And, technical difficulties. This is new, right? Headphones are new, all kinds of new stuff. I've got a special guest with me today, and I'm really excited to bring her on. So bear with us. I know it's not the best video quality. It is. We are streaming from Zoom into YouTube live. So super excited to be here with you guys today and for all of our viewers. Once you guys are in, hi, Joseph. Hi, Denise. Make sure you guys drop into the chat, say hello. I do have a really great special guest with us. I'm going to bring her on in just a second. But if this is your first time watching me live or just viewing this recording later, what's up, guys? My name is Cece Crosley, and I am the owner, founder of Bookkeeper Bootcamp. And my goal and mission with my company is to teach and prepare bookkeepers, whether freelance or not freelance, and share my knowledge with bookkeepers to train them so they can become effective. They can become efficient. And I train up, all kinds. I mean, gosh, it's been so long. I train normal, just bookkeeping basics all the way up to payroll services and cleanup. I have officially become like the unannounced, bookkeeping cleanup wizard in that sense. So I'm really extremely excited to be able to share my thoughts and processes with all of you that tune in with me, coach with me, all the fun stuff, join my bookkeeper boot camps, all that great things. So I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for being such great supporters of what I do. And hopefully 2023 is just going to keep getting better, and I can provide more value to our community of bookkeepers, future bookkeepers, and veteran current bookkeepers. So with that being said, hi, Kimberly. She said she's going to catch the replay. Yes, please do, because it's going to be a great live. And I do plan on keeping us on for just a little bit. So today I have on with me a very special guest, Miss Christian Brooks of Brooks Bookkeeping and Accounting Services. So let me do the, hold on 1 second. Let me do the side by side so you guys can see us. 1 second. It has been a minute since I went live on YouTube, and, new microphone, new all these things, really cool stuff. Give me 1 second, guys. And I will share this screen with us. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. I'm checking my lab, making sure you guys can see her. Miss Christian Brooks, say hello to my YouTube audience.
Hey everyone, hey YouTube family. You can see me?
I think so. Hold on. I don't know.
Good.
Can you guys see us? Can you see more than just me? Can you guys see the both of us? Because I'm looking back at my screen right now. There we go. All right. My replay on YouTube is just a lot slower than my actual Zoom. So now you guys can see us side by side. And she's a really great person, obviously. And the reason I'm bringing her on, because we were just talking about some really cool stuff in one of my virtual meetups that I did recently. And I've been in contact with Christian for quite some time now through the year. And we got to talking about some really great things that she does personally. And one of them was a special tool that she's developed herself that she is now presenting to the world. And it's pretty awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on it and use it. I mean, I've been through the processes with her, and step by step getting to know this really great tool, watching her troubleshoot it, all the fun things. But anyway, long overdue intro. Let me turn the stage over to Miss Christian Brooks. Christian, tell us more about you. Tell the world about what you do, where you come from, all the things. Go for it.
Yeah. So, hey, y'all. I'm Christian Brooks. I am the owner and founder of Brooks Bookkeeping and Accounting Services. And with Brooks Bookkeeping and Accounting Services, I aim to empower and educate women of color, entrepreneurs, and small business owners on their business finances and taxes. So, basically, these topics can be a little difficult to understand, right? They can be a little they can be hard to interact with. So
Right.
my goal is to break down topics like business finances and taxes to make them more digestible, approachable, and understandable. So when you go over to my YouTube page, you'll see videos that are giving tips on taxes, different tricks to make bookkeeping easier for you all, because this stuff is hard. Taxes, it can be difficult,
You're not lying.
unnecessarily so. And bookkeeping can be very difficult as well, but it doesn't have to be as hard as some folks make it. And my goal is to make it easier for y'all, to make your life easier.
Thank you so much. Amen. Everyone needs it to be just a little bit easier. Who's going to say no to that? And where do you live? Where are you hailing us from?
Yes, I'm coming in from Washington, D.C. That's where I
Dang.
am, but my bookkeeping and tax firm is virtual, so I have clients all over the place.
I love it. I love it. I bet it's cold there. You guys know I'm obsessed with weather. What's the temperature like there?
It is cold here. It's like 36 degrees here.
Oh, that's too
So I
cold.
have my heat on, and I have a heater, and I have several layers on. I'm probably overdoing it. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm probably overdoing it, but I get cold very easily.
It's 57 degrees here. And the only reason I don't have anything on, like a jacket or anything, I usually have like a sweater. I have sweatpants on, but I have my little heater on my feet, and it is on like overdrive and overtime. It is tropical in my office, and it is freezing cold out there. So yeah, I'm a big baby. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do what you do. There's no way. There's no way.
Man, I mean, you know what? I used to live in Pennsylvania. It was a lot colder in Pennsylvania. I mean, around this time, it would very easily get to, but like 20 below, like not 20 below, but like 20. There were times where it got so cold that they would have to cancel school. Folks' jobs would shut down because it was too cold for people to be outside. I don't know how to survive that. Don't know.
Like snow days is a weird thing for me. Being born in Hawaii, I was like, snow days. Why can't they go to school in the snow? Then I went to the snow and I was like, oh, I see. I can figure this out now. This is crappy. I feel bad. Yes, stay home. Snow day sounds like a great idea. I never got to experience one as a child, but hey, I'm all for it now. Denise says it's called freezing over here. Yeah, y'all are freezing. I don't blame you. Come visit me in Arizona in January, and let's have a what's it called? A bookkeeping retreat. I think that's what our thing is called. Shameless plug, bookkeeping retreat.
Yeah,
absolutely. Come check it out.
Absolutely.
Check out the link. Get warm. Come hang out with me. We can even go hot tubbing and pool. It's crazy because even now, it being winter, we do have visitors from like out of state, and they are definitely walking around in shirts like this, crop tops, shorts. It's like 57 degrees. And I swear they're just swimming. They're like, oh, this is great weather. Like, we're freezing. I've got socks on with my house slippers and the slides. No, it's a hot mess.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you're coming from 30-degree weather, 57 sounds great.
Right? 57. Oh, I would love that. Yeah, if I was coming from where you're at. Well, Christian, thank you guys so much. Thank you again for joining me. And I want to talk a little bit about the what it is that you presented, and I keep alluding to this. I keep saying it's a tool. Yes, it's a tool, but friends, my friend here is a Excel queen. I dub her the Excel queen. All right. I remember talking to her about this, and the tool in illusion here that I'm going to talk about is a spreadsheet that she created for, those clients out there that don't have or don't want to use QuickBooks. We've all heard, we've all got them. They've been keeping their information in spreadsheets, or they haven't been keeping their books at all. Right. And that's that's a problem because, hey, guess what? Tax season's around the corner. We're in tax season. We're preparing our books for tax season. So I've been talking to Christian about this, and it was something I think you said you were working with or working on for a little bit. And I was like, no, develop this. I know bookkeepers that need this as well as the clients because they've been not keeping their books and they're just pulling their bank statements. And they're like, oh, but some of this is, expenses and some of this is personal. And I don't have time or I don't have the budget to do bookkeeping on QuickBooks because they don't like I said, they don't have the budget to do QuickBooks or own QuickBooks. And then if that's the case, they don't either know how to do QuickBooks, and then they don't have the budget to bring on a bookkeeper. So they try to do it themselves, and then they just make it a big fat mess. Next thing you know, they're like, you know what? Hands up, I'm done. I don't even want to do bookkeeping in QuickBooks. I'm just not going to do bookkeeping at all. Then they face this huge tax liability, right? So you deal with the fact that people don't want to do it, and they still need to provide these numbers. It's always best, correct me if I'm wrong out there, guys. It's always best to hand over a balance sheet with a profit and loss sheet with all of the books and everything intact to your tax pro rather than just handing out numbers, right? So what you created was something like that, right? If you want to tell us more about that, that would be great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So I created a spreadsheet. I'm calling it the bookkeeping template for entrepreneurs. And basically this template calculates all of your expenses and revenue, put it into a profit and loss statement, and also spits out some graphs for you so you have a better understanding of what's going on with your finances. And I mean, as Cece said, the reason that I created it was because I was running into a lot of people who weren't keeping their books, a lot of entrepreneurs and small businesses, and they weren't keeping their books because, one, they couldn't afford a bookkeeper, and two, some of them were not necessarily at a point where it made financial sense to get a QuickBooks subscription or to bring in a bookkeeper. So they were doing things in Excel on their own. And I had a few clients kind of hand over their Excel spreadsheets to me for tax time. And I was just like, these are not the numbers that I need. You're going to have to do something different.
And they're like, what are you talking about? These are the numbers.
Yeah.
And as a bookkeeper or a tax pro, you're like, those are not the numbers. I guarantee those are wrong.
That's not what I need. So I created this spreadsheet, and what the spreadsheet does is you'll put in your daily transactions. So anytime you spend money with the business, anytime you make money with the business, you'll put that into the spreadsheet, and it'll automatically calculate, like I said, a profit and loss statement for you. But then it also automatically sets aside 20% of your income for taxes, because, we know as small businesses and entrepreneurs, in addition to your marginal tax rate, you have to pay 15.3% in self-employment taxes. So I tell my clients to always set aside 20% of what they bring in for taxes. And that's just your federal taxes. You also have your state taxes and local taxes if you live in a place that charges local taxes. But there are, credits, deductions, write-offs, and things of that sort. So, when I tell people 15.3%, they're just like, what? Well, I'm like, you qualify for some deductions.
Yeah, don't worry. That the whole point of us making sure that we calculate your expenses and your income is so that we can bring that liability down, so that hopefully we can hit that zero mark and you don't have to pay all these taxes. So take a deep breath.
Exactly. We just want to make sure. We want to make sure that we can bring your tax liability down so that you don't owe any money. But the 20% is so that you're not caught flat-footed when the tax bill comes up, right? When your tax bill comes up, you're like, whoa, I don't have that money. Well, you've been setting aside 20% of your income every month. So you have this money that you can pay. But then also the spreadsheet sets aside 15% of your income for reserves. And, it's really important to make sure that you have reserves, because if there is a month or a couple months where you're not bringing in any money or you're operating at a loss, then you might have to dig into those reserves to pay your bills. And this is a reason why a lot of businesses went under during COVID, because the business was doing well when they were bringing in money. However, when the economy shut down and they weren't bringing in money anymore, they didn't have any cash reserves to rely on. So you want to make sure that you're always setting aside money for your cash reserves for an emergency. But also, if you want to invest in the business, like if you want to buy new technology, you want to do some R&D or whatever have you. So the spreadsheet automatically sets aside 15% of your income for that as well.
I love it.
Should I show the spreadsheet?
Yeah. Why don't you do like, I was just going to say, I'll head over to something for you, but yeah, if you've got it up and you can show just, like a little snippet and show the audience, because like I said, guys, I have watched her build this and I was like, hurry up. I know people that want this now, and it not just like the business owners, but bookkeepers, because the reason why I wanted to talk to you guys about this and bring her on is because the bookkeepers are the ones that can use this to bring in your clients. You guys can use this as a thank you. My boyfriend just bought me food. I'm working.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. But you guys can use this as a tool. As soon as you show her, like you guys know, we're going to be all about client acquisition soon, right? If not now, like this is when we're bringing in our clients. We're trying to make sure that we close on the deals. People are looking at their books. They know tax season's right around the corner. So I'm trying to get everybody on the train that let's get these clients. This tool right here can help you guys prepare their books. This can be something if you guys don't want to work in QuickBooks and you guys find that, hey, you know what? If this is how they want to do it and it's just that much quicker, I mean, I could see my team even utilizing this, going, you know what? This is going to be an easy reoccurring thing for this client. They're an entrepreneur, maybe like a hairstylist, right? They don't need the most, and maybe their budget can't handle that. But we can use a spreadsheet. And even if we're doing bookkeeping in this spreadsheet, it's still bookkeeping. We're still making sure the numbers read out because it's producing a balance sheet and it's producing a profit and loss. Is it the best way? No, but it is a tool that we can use. And even if, I'm thinking even further back, if we're doing like bookkeeping cleanup, because, bookkeeping cleanup is going to be a thing. If that's the case and they wanted to do the bookkeeping cleanup with a spreadsheet, we could look at that option. I mean, at that point, we're not reconciling anything. We're actually just using the raw data from the bank statement and putting it in, right? Yeah, I think that's really dope. All right. Whenever you're ready, girl, you just take your time. I'm just going to talk
with you all.
Yeah, guys, this thing is, amazing, super amazing.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yes, that's it. Yep. Perfect.
Okay. So, so when you download the spreadsheet, you'll come to some instructions. So the instructions just basically tell you how the spreadsheet works. And there is a video on my YouTube that you can view to see how the spreadsheet works. But then, okay, let's go over to the chart of accounts. So the chart of accounts only has expense accounts and revenue accounts. There are some accounts that are pre-filled, but you can change them if you want. They don't have to be the ones that are already on here. I just put these on here because these expense accounts are the ones that will show up on the Schedule C of your your tax return. So it'll make life easier for your tax accountant because everything is already categorized.
Thank you. And that's how your tax accountant is going to love you as a bookkeeper, guys.
Exactly.
And I apologize. I'm looking at our live right now. So if it's a little not clear, obviously this is a Zoom live. Look, I'm not all up in the in the know with like technology and getting the live streams. But just so you guys know, if it is a little bit unclear, you guys can get with Christian later, maybe book like a 20-minute free call or something if you guys have questions about this. So worry not on the blurriness. I apologize. Continue.
Yeah. And then also there's a video on my YouTube, so you can go over there and check out
That's
the video. If you can't see what's going on here.
And before, you know what, and since we're there, I'm going to go ahead and find your YouTube. Remind me, is there a link in your signature at all when you email me?
No, there's not a link in my signature. There's a link on my website though.
Okay, you want to shoot me over your website address real quick, and then I'll go ahead and link that in the description and make sure that everyone can get to your YouTube.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that so y'all can get to her? Because if I don't do it, here's what's going to happen, guys. You already know, if you guys have worked with me before, if I don't do it, it ain't going to be done. Period.
Okay, let me send it to you.
That's why I'm like, nah, let's do it now. The audience wants now.
The chat is kind of not working, so let me just go through this real quick, and then once I stop screen share, I will send all the links over to you.
Hold on, let me get a pen. I swear I had a pen. All right, I'll write it down on my phone. All right, guys. Okay, it's on my phone to make sure that we get the credentials of your YouTube. I mean, we're going to talk about it later, but you know,
right. So my YouTube is Brooks Bookkeeping and Accounting Services.
Okay.
And then my website is www.christianinbrooks.com/bookkeeping. And then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see a link to my YouTube. And then you'll also see a form where you can send me an email if you have any questions.
Okay. So I'll get that all for you guys that are watching later, that are watching now. I'll make sure we link it in the chat, and then we'll go back and link it in the description. So go ahead. Sorry for the interruption. Continue.
Okay. No problem. Okay. So, like I said, these accounts are the ones that are on the Schedule C. So, they're already in the tax categories that your tax accountant will need. So your tax accountant will love you, but if you want to change them, you absolutely can. You can add accounts if you want. You can add up to 40 expense accounts and up to 20 revenue accounts. And these accounts are going to pop up here in the transaction log. So when you go over here and click account, all of the accounts will pop up right here.
Awesome.
So let's add something real quick. Let's just say hello. Okay, so when we go to the transaction log, right there, hello. So you will put all of the transactions that happen for the organization in the transaction log. So as I said, any revenue that comes in, any money that goes out the door, you'll put it in here. You can add up to 1,000 transactions. So you can't really use this for a bigger business, but for a smaller business that has between like 250, 100 transactions each month, this should be fine.
Good. That was going to be my next question. Like, how many transactions or what style of bookkeeping? So you guys know that I'm a transactions person when it comes to quoting people, when it comes to quoting my time. So, okay, great. That was going to be my next question.
Maybe not 250, maybe around 100 each month. But I mean, also, if you need it to be larger, you can email me and I can just put in a space for you to have more transactions.
Nice. Look at that, guys. That's customer service right there. Woo, love it.
Just email me and I can make it larger for you. But then also, so we'll have the profit and loss statement. And with the profit and loss statement, it automatically calculates everything that you put into the transaction log. And then again, all of the accounts that you put into the chart of accounts will automatically populate here on the transaction log. So we see hello right here.
What a thing of beauty. I'm telling you.
And
I'm
then,
obsessed.
as I mentioned, we have your income before taxes, your income tax expense, your net income, and then your reserves allocations, as I mentioned. So then we can go over here to the annual overview, and the annual overview just gives you some graphs that lets you know how you're spending your money. So this will tell you about your cash flow. So it shows you like how much money you've gotten in, how much money has come out of the business. But then you have your revenue and expense breakdowns. Now, with your revenue and expense breakdowns, it's basically going to tell you what percentage of your revenue streams make up your total revenue. So here, 42.4% of our revenue came from consulting. And then over here, it does the same thing for the expenses. Now, this is really important for the expenses because it lets you know if you've been spending a lot of money in a certain place. So as we can see right here, our office expenses were 12.6%, which is almost double all of the other expenses. So based on this information, we can go over here to the profit and loss statement or to the transaction log. And then we can find all of the office expenses. So we have office expense here, office expense here, and you can go through the entire sheet to find your office expenses so that you can see why you have been spending so much money, so you can decrease that. So as I said, you can go over to my YouTube and check out the video for the spreadsheet. You can also buy the spreadsheet at my website at www.christiannbrooks.com/bookkeeping.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm actually going to link to that right now for you guys, because like I said, I'm obsessed and I have been telling everybody I know that could benefit from this about this spreadsheet. And it's really affordable, you guys. Supporting our community, supporting you guys. I'm always trying to do, tips, tricks, and tools. I always say that. And this is a great tool and a great resource for you guys to check out. So, okay. Oh, wait, sorry. I put two links in there. They're the same one. That's my fault. This one is the one I'm trying to copy here. All right. So you guys have a link in the chat to subscribe to her YouTube. And now you guys have a link in the chat to check out that spreadsheet and tool for yourselves. And I think we have someone that commented, so how do you charge for this as a bookkeeper? And do you suggest they purchase this spreadsheet, or do you use your copy and maintain it for them? Per Tamika. What's up, T? Well, obviously, the charge for as a bookkeeper, I mean, if you want to take this away, or take this question, Christian, do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah.
Okay. So she asked. Okay. Sorry.
I remember. Yeah.
That's me.
So I think as a bookkeeper, when you're using this spreadsheet, you can still charge a normal rate. I mean, it doesn't really matter what service you're using, whether you're using QuickBooks or whether you're using this spreadsheet. The amount of work that you're doing is going to be similar if it is a company that's small enough to use this spreadsheet, right? So I would charge around the same.
Okay, nice. Right, because this is just a software. What do they say? It's your knowledge that they're paying for, because
exactly.
What's that old saying? They hired an electrician to help them fix their business, and he just flipped a switch and then charged him $1,000. The problem is that they think that they're getting robbed, but in reality, they're paying for the knowledge that he's invested in himself to know exactly which switch to flip up, because obviously they didn't know. And that's how I view bookkeeping. And I'm trying to make sure and make aware and bring awareness to the bookkeeping community and I guess the clients that we serve, that people have been undercharging lately. Okay, not lately, like all the time. And I'm all about, everyone getting their money, but fairly, obviously. So regardless if it's taking you, like Christian has built this, and say Tamika does purchase this from her, and it takes Tamika maybe 10 minutes to get most of her work done. And she's only in their books for approximately 4 hours in a month. Charging her minimum should be, and everyone's minimum should be at least, guys, you guys should be charging at minimum. If you're doing minimum work and it's a transactional situation and it's 100 transactions or less per month, just for reconciling alone on the transaction side, it should be $350 minimum. That's where you're starting at. That's your baseline. Now, if you're doing stuff like AP, AR, payroll, sales tax, extra items that keeps you longer in their books, that's when you're going to bump that price up. So for all of you that are like, pricing so hard for me, Stacey, minimum for that minimum amount of work, just on reconciling, just using this alone, I would say this is a good $400 minimum charge just for you to fill this out monthly. And if you guys are working with a client that's doing cleanup, guess what? Retro that, right? So we're talking about $400 a month per month for the entire year. And that's going to bring your cleanup price to $4,800 just for one account. Is it fair? Absolutely. And I always tell people this because you guys are doing a cleanup. You guys are reconciling and putting this spreadsheet together, per se. Say if this is what you're doing a year's worth of work in record time, a year's worth of work in record time within a couple weeks, within a month. When normally we have days and days to do this, we're monitoring this as we go. So using a spreadsheet like this, keep charging what you guys are normally charging. Just because it's in a spreadsheet doesn't mean anything. We have to know how to use the spreadsheet. They don't know how to use it. They're out doing what they're doing, being pros at what they're doing. So I love this thing. It really is awesome.
And I really just want to reiterate something that you said, that they're not just paying for our time, but they're also paying for our knowledge and expertise. So it doesn't matter if it took you an hour to fill this spreadsheet out, or if it took you 10 minutes to fill out this spreadsheet. Fact of the matter is, there are elements of the spreadsheet that you can read that they can't. Right? Because I have an accounting background, I could look at that graph very easily and say, hey, this is 12.6%. This is almost twice the other expenses. What are we spending our money on? Everybody can't do that. Everybody cannot do that, but you can. And the fact that you can means that you have the knowledge and expertise, and you should be charging for it. And I think it's really important to say that, especially for my women out there, because there are a lot of times where we don't price where we should because of whatever reason there is. However, we come with a lot of knowledge, a lot of expertise. And also, if you have education to back it up, right? If you have degrees, if you have CPA, if you have an EA, whatever have you, you need to be charging more for that.
Right.
Because
even just like
you have
certificates.
More knowledge.
Right. You guys spent and invested time in your knowledge wealth and, built that well up to know these things. Like you said, we're like number savvy. We're tech savvy sometimes, but we have to be, because that's our genre. That's our niche. And the people that we're working with, that's not their niche. Their niche is hairstyling. Their niche is construction. Their niche is real estate, whatever have you. I don't know crap about any of that, but I can tell you about the numbers, and I'll be like, you are overspending here. Where'd your money go? You've been spending a lot in personal expenses. So all your equity just went up. So I don't know what to tell you. You're going to be paying on that. And knowing just a little bit more, I think for bookkeepers, knowing a little bit more on the tax side, you guys don't have to do the taxes, but knowing, but you should know it. Yeah, but you should know it, because that's what you're doing when it comes to a lot of people. We're categorizing things, but that's what we're doing. We're categorizing things as per what is needed per that Schedule C. If that's what we're preparing taxes for, and you're working with the tax pro, you can't just, make up these categories. Maybe it's not a tax deduction. So we need to follow that schedule. And that's why I think working with someone like yourself, you do taxes as well. Mm-hmm. Bookkeeping, it just goes hand in hand. And what were we talking about earlier?
Tax write-offs.
Oh, guys, this is the funniest thing to me. I was
Listen, y'all, tax write-offs and refunds are not the same thing.
No, they're not. Oh, I was watching a lot lately on my Instagram, just scrolling, and I keep seeing these I'm not trying to, I mean this in the most lighthearted, jokey way, but I keep seeing people are like, oh, this is how you write off, eating at Nobu for $500. You and your wife, you guys go down there and you guys talk business. Now it's a write-off. Woo! That's how you guys get dinner for free. And I'm like, look,
it's not free.
It's not free, guys. You still paying $500 at Nobu. Okay. You're still paying the $500. what's happening is instead of you paying a huge liability, that tax liability at the end, that write-off is going to help you bring that money back, that liability down. And now you're not going to be spending twice. You're not going to be paying $500 and now paying more in tax liability. You don't get that $500 back. No. And I think that people think that when they're talking and they're doing all these reels, I'm like, why are you guys saying it's free? It's not free. You're still paying for it. It's technically an expense. The business paid for it, sure, but you're still paying for it. You don't get the money back. They don't go, oh, free write-offs. I'm like, I think they're confused.
Basically with write-offs, like you said, you're not getting that money back. It decreases your tax liability. So basically what you're doing is shifting where the money is going. So instead of that money going to your taxable income so that you have to give the IRS a portion of it, that money's going to Nobu. That's it. You're not getting that money back. Now, in some cases, you might get a tax refund. However, that's not always the case. It just lowers your tax liability so you don't have to give the government as much money. And that's why you'll see people at the end of the year, they're going out and they're buying different things with their business. It's so that they can decrease their tax liability. Sometimes they will get a refund, but sometimes they won't. But it shifts where the money is going. So instead of that money going to the IRS, that money has now gone to an asset for your business, or it has gone to some type of expense that you benefit from.
Yeah, exactly. So I swear I'm doing my next TikTok reel about that. You're like, no, stop saying that. Tell them like it is. It's not free. It's not free. No, free money coming back into your pocket. Stop saying that. It really, really cracks me up. All right. So before we sign off here, guys, if you're in our live, this is also open Q&A for both of us. So if you guys have any questions right now, feel free to throw them in the chat, and I'm going to be monitoring it and making sure that either myself, Christian, we can answer these. So I'm scrolling down. Okay, we talked about Tamika's. She's got her question. Okay, I don't see very many questions, but that's okay, guys. Not a problem, because I have questions that we can talk about. Okay. Everyone's always asking me questions. And we can what I definitely want to talk about is your success with YouTube. I want to congratulate you. We've been working together, I know, to launch your YouTube. And I do recommend this because this is the way I grew, guys, is YouTube, obviously. And good example, like today, I have all this like really cool stuff now, but we just, at this point, I was like having problems with new equipment. Same with Christian. She's like, oh, this microphone's not working. We were like, screw it. Just start early. We don't even care anymore. Like, screw this shit. We're starting early. We're starting now. We're starting ugly. And that's how I recommend you guys do it as well. Even my mentors and coaches in YouTube are like, just start. Look, guys, it's not going to be beautiful. It's not going to be great, but I'm not a multi-billion-dollar producing company. No, I'm a bookkeeper and accountant. I don't do this stuff. I could hire somebody, but the reality is I just want to get on here. I want to talk to Christian. I want to get on the live, talk to you guys, and make sure that, we're providing some type of value so we can just get going. Start ugly. We don't even care. So I wanted to congratulate you and talk to you more about how comfortable you were, or like, I don't know, the things that you might have struggled with getting your YouTube started, because a lot of people that are bookkeepers, they might shy away from video. And I get that, because it is a little bit scary. You're putting yourself out there, but I find that is the most effective way to get my clients on board with me, because now they can feel my vibe. They know what my voice sounds like. They know what I'm talking about. It's faster. And I feel like the tone gets set when you hear somebody speaking versus when you're reading it, because what do they say? Depending on your mood, you're reading that text and that sentence in your tone that you're reading it. So when you get to hear it, it's different. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about my YouTube. My videos just launched on Monday. So go out, go look at them, show me some love, like, comment, and
Yeah.
subscribe. But I think that, so as you know, CC, my background is like a little out there, right? So,
I like
I
your
do my
background.
bookkeeping work. I do my bookkeeping work, and I'm doing my bookkeeping work full time now. Super excited about that. But I was working in public policy advocacy for quite some time. And
Yes.
when I was doing my public policy advocacy, I had to like be on camera a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of webinars, I did a lot of videos, I did a lot of public speaking. So being on a video, being taped, whatever have you, that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I was really comfortable with. It was other things that I wasn't comfortable with. So, when you are an entrepreneur, you really have to do everything. And I don't think that I took that into consideration until
Yeah.
I had to do everything.
Until you got to wear the hat,
Oh
which is
man,
all
like
the
on
hats.
Canva, putting
Mm.
together thumbnails and things of that sort. And I am not a creative. I am not putting together flyers and thumbnails. That
Yep.
is not my thing at all. So having to put that stuff together and then put the YouTube together, put
Right.
together
Right.
descriptions, things of that sort, edit the videos. Again, editing videos, not my thing. So if y'all go and see some of those videos, the editing is a little shaky. No, because it's not my thing.
Right. This
But
isn't my
I
thing, but
had
we
to do
use
it.
it, right? We use it because
Yeah,
that's what we have to do. We have to market ourselves. We have to put our, and we
exactly.
decided to go with YouTube. I have just found so much
Exactly.
success in that. And yet it's quite the adventure. It's quite the
Yeah,
adventure.
it was a lot. And quite honestly, that was a lot of what took me longer to get my YouTube out there.
Yeah.
The videos were recorded. It was the other stuff that I wasn't used to doing, that I didn't necessarily care for doing,
Right.
that I had to kind of push myself out there and get out of my comfort zone and do that. But I'm really excited about my YouTube because I am all about financial education, right? Like I have learned so much. I learned a lot with my job. So I did public policy advocacy. So I was working with Congress a lot. So there were a lot of bills that did pass into law and didn't pass into law that I read that
That's
were related to
awesome.
taxes, and I'm just like, yo, this is important information for people to have. But then also just like in other avenues, I've
Mm-hmm.
just gained a lot of information, and I want to give it to people because why not, right? Like, why
Right.
shouldn't
We're
you
not going to be
have this
gatekeepers.
information? Yeah,
Exactly. The
why
more
shouldn't you have
knowledge,
this
the better.
information?
I love that
Right.
idea.
So my goal
Okay.
with my YouTube is just to give people as much information as I can, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's other tax professionals,
No,
other
that's what's up.
bookkeepers, entrepreneurs, small business owners. If I learn something, y'all gonna learn something. So
Right. We're not gatekeeping here. We're not gatekeeping.
no,
I love
no.
that. I love that you want to share too. Sorry, what I'm doing right now is I'm going to do something really dope. I'm going to try to get us on my YouTube, on my Instagram live as well, so we can have people ask us questions. Yay.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sure that we're like across all spots right now. Hold up one second. I'm over here just making all kinds of noise on you. All right. Cause this one's going to be a nice long live. And people want to know. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So let me.
Awesome. Exciting. CC, I really need to make an Instagram. Y'all, I don't have an Instagram, and I need to make an Instagram. I have such an aversion to social media. It's just a lot to keep up with. It's so much to keep up with. But now that I have my business, I know that I need to get social media. I need to set up an Instagram and all of that. So my Instagram is coming soon, y'all. It's just another thing. Like, remember when I said that I had to push myself out there to get these YouTube videos out because there were things that I didn't like to do? Same thing with the Instagram. So it's coming, y'all. It's gonna take a minute.
We're just adjusting my headset real quick. Ugh, I've got all this stupid hair. Okay. We can do this. because
You got it. I
my
believe in you.
headset. Oh gosh. Okay, here we go. So we're just gonna take that out. Forget it. Not worth it. As you guys get to see this struggle and pain live and just messing everything up. You know, good stuff. We're just gonna go live. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go live right now. Right now. All right. So what I'm going to do, guys, and if you're on YouTube, like I said, ask away, ask all the questions. And if you're joining me now on Instagram Live, what's up, Instagram? We are on my YouTube channel live with Christian Brooks of Brooks Bookkeeping and Accounting Services. And we got Manuel. Hello, Manuel from LA.
Hi, Manuel from LA.
What's up? If you guys are watching on our YouTube, join us on our YouTube, but definitely on here, especially on our Instagram, to talk to you guys about questions. And I've got Christian on here. You guys can definitely catch the replay. She has made a really excellent tool for us bookkeepers and our clients to use for tax purposes if they don't have QuickBooks. And I think it's a really great spreadsheet. And we didn't even talk about the other spreadsheets that she has, because we can even go ahead and talk about that stuff. But if you guys have any questions, this is the time to ask. Otherwise, shoot a comment in later, and I'll make sure you guys have Christian's credentials so that you guys can reach out to her as well. But Christian, tell us about the other two spreadsheets that you have. You don't have to screen share it if you don't want to, but you had been telling me about this, and I thought it was really excellent as well. And I feel like this could also be a tool for a bookkeeper to use so that we can help manage budgets and manage the clients, whatever it is that they need us to do. Gives us more resources.
So I have two more spreadsheets that haven't come out yet. One is a personal finance tracker. The other one is a depreciation expense spread calculator. So with the personal finance tracker, that's really for people to kind of track their finances. So it helps you to create your monthly budget. And with the monthly budget, you'll put in your expenses, you'll put in your income, and then you'll also put in your savings. So then, like the bookkeeping template, it also has the transaction log where you'll put in all of your transactions. Now, these are personal transactions, not business transactions. So you'll put in all of your transactions. It populates a income and expense tracker. And then it has a breakdown of your income, your expenses, and your savings. So it lets you know how much income you've brought in, the different categories, the percentage of each categories that make up your total income. But at the end, it also lets you know if you were on budget or you went over budget. So from that monthly budget, it calculates an annual budget for each category that you put in. And then it will automatically add up or automatically calculate how much you spent annually in each category. And it'll let you know if you were over budget or if you were under budget. So I am super excited about that. That one will be dropping soon. And then I also have a depreciation calculator. So
that right there. Oh, that thing is fire. I love that depreciation calculator. So if you guys need this, listen up.
So it's for residential rental properties. So if you own a residential rental property, or you have any clients or whatever have you, or whoever have you have that have residential rental properties, it automatically calculates the depreciation for the rental properties until it's depreciated down to zero. So, and it's using IRS standards. So I'm not sure if y'all want to use a different way of depreciating, because IRS depreciating and then accounting depreciating can be different. I mean, they can also be the same if you want them to be, but they can be different. But basically all you have to do is put in how much you paid for the home, if you made any capital improvements to the home, the cost of land, because remember, based on IRS standards, you cannot depreciate land. I don't think accounting standards you can depreciate land either. So you can't depreciate land. You have to subtract out the land. And then you put in when you put it up for rent, and it automatically calculates an entire depreciation table for you. So a residential rental property, it has a useful life of, I think, 27.5. So 27 and a half years. So it will calculate your depreciation expense for 27 and a half years. And
You know
this
what?
is
Can you
super
show that
important.
one? That one is
Yeah.
like my heart right now. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed. She
I'll
is
I'll show
the
this to you.
Excel queen. I'm telling you, it. I think I've had like an obsession with Excel ever since I don't know, first got my hands on it, because my very first experience with it, the person that was showing me didn't even use a mouse. He was so good
Yeah.
that he just on the no mouse. I was like, I didn't even think that was possible. He's like, yeah, they're called hotkeys. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, holy crap. I want to be like that.
Yeah, Excel can do a lot of good stuff,
A
y'all.
lot of
It,
great
it can do
things.
a lot
Excel
of good
is
stuff.
the best.
And I didn't even know. So the graduate program that I went to was like super Excel intensive.
Yeah.
And I just learned so much of what Excel can do. It's pretty awesome. So let me show y'all the
Yeah. Screen share that.
depreciation.
Screen share that bad boy. Yeah. And if you guys are watching me on my live on Instagram, you guys want to hear the other side of this conversation, jump onto my YouTube right now. Link to my YouTube channels in my bio. Check it out. I'm talking to Miss Christian Brooks of Brooks Bookkeeping and Accounting Services. And she's sharing today with us some of these really great spreadsheets and tools that you guys can utilize for yourselves, for your business. And I just think that they're fire.
So, okay, so this is the residential rental property
Okay.
depreciation calculator or worksheet. So you only need to change the cells that are highlighted in yellow, and then everything else calculates for you. So
Mm-hmm.
once you put in all of this information, date of purchase, building costs, capital improvements, land costs, date placed in service, investment use, and personal use, everything else in red will calculate for you automatically. And then
Nice.
it will populate this depreciation spreadsheet. So this depreciation spreadsheet is what you will put on your tax return. So each year you have a depreciation expense, and this is super important. Your depreciation expense is super important because this is really what a lot of real estate moguls, they use their depreciation in order to bring down their taxable income, which in turn brings down their tax liability. So if you are someone who aspires to get more rental properties, or you own a rental property right now, make sure that your tax professional is depreciating your rental property. Now, this is based on straight line depreciation. There are other depreciations that you can use based on IRS standards. I think it's called the ACS system.
Mm-hmm.
It's around that, but basically with that system, what happens is you would have to hire an accounting firm to come out to your rental property, and they will assign a value to the building, but
Mm-hmm.
also the different contents of the building. So you can depreciate the cabinets, you can depreciate the refrigerator, the oven, things of that sort. Now, if you are new to depreciating your rental property, I would not do that. I wouldn't do that because it's a little more difficult, it's a little more time
Right.
consuming. I would stick with straight line depreciation, but that particular method of depreciation will give you a larger depreciation expense that you can write off on your taxes. So again, if you are someone who owns a rental property, if you work with a firm or a company that has a lot of rental properties,
Yep.
then look into this depreciation expense, because as I said, it lowers your taxable income, which in turn lowers your tax liability.
I love it. And that's definitely a great tool for you guys that are looking to be bookkeepers for what's called real estate investors. Anyone in the real estate game, you could use this somehow, at least in the investing game, because this real estate, and to be fair, not even just in the real estate game, if they own the business building that they are operating in, there you go. So if they're owning some kind of real estate property, any type, this would work, right? Essentially.
So this will only work for personal property. I mean, I can make a little bit of updates so that it'll work for residential properties or for commercial properties. But so this one is for a personal residential rental. But if you have a business building that you need to depreciate, then you would have to that one you would have to use a different useful life and a different depreciation table, but it's easily adjustable.
Gotcha. We do have some questions, and I do see some of the people that joined my Instagram. You guys can probably hear me on Instagram, but join us on my live. Then you guys can get on the second half of my conversation with Christian. We've got some questions from Ruben. Can you talk about year-end journal entries? We certainly can, Ruben. Anything in specific, if you want to be specific about that. So if you guys are again joining me on my YouTube, my Instagram, jump on the link in my bio on my Instagram account and join us on my YouTube channel, because we're live there and you guys can hear Christian on the other end. Let me see. Do you sell this worksheet too? Oh, Christian, do you sell this worksheet?
So which one?
I think
the
both.
Depreciation one?
Yeah, you do sell both, right? They're both for sale.
Yeah. So
okay, cool.
The bookkeeping template is live now. The depreciation one should be coming out in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, but great. Yes, just working out all the kinks, making sure, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Year-end journal entry on the balance sheet is what Ruben wants to talk about. I think if I could speak a little bit about that, Ruben, you might have, depending on your industry and your niche, year-end journal entries for adjustments for the balance sheet are going to be specific to each individual client, because whether it's going to be a payroll adjustment, if it's going to be sales tax adjustments, income adjustments, you're going to have different kind of year-end journal entries. If you need to know more about that, I believe I just shoot me an email at bookkeeperbootcamp@gmail.com. I do have a month-end checklist that you can also go through, and that's going to, I think you can even just create. I think there are some out there. I don't know if I have a year-end one, but I do have a year-end. I think I have a year-end one as well, but year-end journal entries. Hey guys, if you're on my Instagram, sorry, I have to keep interrupting. Jump onto my YouTube live so you guys can hear the second half of this conversation. It's super dope. Lots of pearls and gems being dropped in right now. I'm talking to Miss Christian Brooks of Brooks Bookkeeping and Accounting. So link in my bio on my Instagram profile. Jump into that link. Check out my YouTube channel from that link, and you guys can link into this really awesome YouTube live. So anyway, back to Ruben's question about year-end journal entries. You're going to want to make sure that everything on the balance sheet reads correct, right? So you're going over liabilities and making sure that the liabilities, if you're talking about, lines of credit or credit cards, making sure that those numbers actually make sense. So, reading through, understanding the balance sheet is something that I do coach as well. And I feel like it is one of the aspects of what us bookkeepers need to be more comfortable with. Me and Christian can talk to our experiences as accountants. The balance sheet is just something we learned in school, and then we have to put that into action, because the balance sheet tells you the health of what the books look like. You're talking about the assets, the money in the bank. You're talking about the liabilities, the money in the bank, all of those great things. Guys, join us live on YouTube right now. I'm talking to Christian Brooks, link in my bio on Instagram, so you guys can get to this channel and get to the other half of this conversation. This conversation is fire. Get there. I gotta keep going back so people can ask questions. It's open. It's open question right now, open Q&A for both of us. So definitely jump in if you can. Let me see. And I'm only going to be on for another couple minutes. Let me see. Right. Hold on one second. Link in bio. Let's go. Hold up. Bam. But, hold on, copy. Okay, there we go. So I can just copy and paste. So that's kind of to answer you as broadly as we can, because that is a very general question. but it's going to be dependent on your niche. And I do have another one, and I don't know if you can answer to this one. It says 1099 question. If a client paid a contractor by debit card, do they still need to issue a 1099? Do you want to take this one, Christian, or should I?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, did they pay the contractor with the business's money or with their personal debit card? If they paid with the business debit card, they still have to issue a 1099. But so when it comes to 1099s, the receiver of the 1099s, the money doesn't become taxable unless they have received over $600. However, on the business's side, it doesn't really matter if you paid out $600 or not. You still have to issue a 1099, but you also need to have them fill out a W-9 form so that you have all of their information so that you can pay them a 1099, or
Exactly.
so you can
create that 1099.
draw up that 1099. Yeah.
Right. Because that's the way to get their information without, I mean, you can informally do it and hope that is correct, because people do that all the time. I don't know why they do that, through email or something, or they just ask and they're like, well, this is the address that's on their invoice every time I invoice, or I know. Have them fill out a W-9. That's a federal form. You guys, like, they shouldn't be lying on that form. So that's the one I take. I take that information on their W-9 is what I'm looking for when I need to get their EIN, when I need to get their address, when I need to get who's responsible. Is this an LLC? Is this a corp? An LLC as an S corp. So yeah, making sure that you guys have that W-9 in place before issuing the 1099. You guys should start doing that now. Get that
before
now.
You pay them.
Yeah, before you pay them, that should be part of
that W-9 form. Like, you know what? There are certain things that we do where, like, they're cover your ass things. Yeah, having a W-9 form on file is a cover your ass type of thing, because one, like Cece said, this is a federal document, so all of the information that's on that document should be accurate. Right? It should be, right? If it's not accurate, then it is on the fault of the contractor, right? You can't lie on forms like that. However, if they have given you information via email or whatever have you, then, like, sometimes you can also be held responsible. So make sure that you are having people fill out the correct forms before you pay them. So have that W-9 on file.
Right. And yeah. And I think he followed up, he said, business checking debit card, no ACH. So to top that off, yes, if it is a business credit, if it is business, they need to get issued a 1099 still. And if the client paid the contractor by debit card, it's still you should still be seeing that in a reconciliation, because if the debit card is connected to the business bank account, then when you're reconciling every month, you should be seeing that charge. And when you see that charge, it needs to be categorized as a contracted worker so that it's hitting that contracted worker as a vendor. And as a vendor, after you hit that threshold of $600, they need to make sure that they have the 1099. And I think one of our girls, Tamika, said, don't get stuck paying taxes for them if you don't get that W-9 info. Freaking men, because let me freaking tell you, oh my gosh, so many times I've worked for companies where they're like, oh no, we don't have their W-9. I'm like, then why did we onboard them? I don't even issue a check until I get that W-9. Because you know what I tell them? Not that I'm trying to withhold it, but I tell them, hey, after I have like all their paperwork and I don't see the W-9, I'll go, just so you know, I need that W-9 in order to cut your check. Even if they're Venmoing or they're Cash Apping, guess what? It's still coming from the business bank. I will put that in the categorize that as a contracted worker. So yeah, like, let's get on the boat here. Don't mess that up.
Yeah.
And don't do that.
Also, like, this is how it works, right? So as a business, when you pay contractors, you can write that off as a business expense. So when you are collecting the W-9 and when you are issuing the 1099, remember, this is cover your ass, right?
Yep, cover your ass.
If the IRS were to audit you, they will see that you have this W-9 in place and you have this 1099 that shows the amount of money that you've paid this person. so that you are able to justify writing off said amount of money on your return for contractors. But then it also, the 1099 informs the IRS that, hey, Christian received $1,000 from bookkeeper boot camp.
Right.
So it helps you on the business side to write off the expense, but then it also lets the IRS know that this person received money that needs to be taxed.
Right. It's getting that cover your ass option so that you're reporting that I did pay this person and I'm reporting it on the 1099. It's actually the 1099 that we're submitting, and it covers your ass. You don't, now the IRS is going to go to them. They're going to say, hey, Christian said that she paid you. This is her proof. If we were to do an audit, are we going to see that proof? So yeah, it's definitely a CYA situation, guys. So yeah, 1099s, that is definitely a month-end a year-end situation. If you and your client haven't already gotten the W-9s, start working on getting W-9s right now. I think we've got a question. Is there a software to create and print 1099s to send out? There are. There's a lot out there. I think QuickBooks can even do it, but
yeah, you can do it on QuickBooks.
Yeah. QuickBooks has that option, Tamika. So definitely check that out. All right. And I think we're about rounding off our session. You guys, I am so happy to be back and bringing you guys some really cool lives, putting out that podcast that I've been talking about for like a year. I got some really cool people on. I'm definitely going to have Christian back on for multiple reasons. She's a great resource, a great creator, great wealth of knowledge. And I do have more friends and more connections like that I want to share with you guys. So stay tuned. Check out Christian's YouTube and it's called, what is it called again? It's called Brooks Bookkeeping.
Brooks Bookkeeping and Accounting Services.
Right. And if you scroll up, let me put a paste here. Hold on. That is the wrong one. So I'm going to paste again where you guys can find that spreadsheet and purchase that for yourselves or for your clients. So you guys can, utilize that. But I'm also going to make sure that we link up, and I'll, if you're watching this as a recording, 1 second. If you guys are watching this as a recording, you guys can see this information in the description box, but I'm going to link to Christian's YouTube where she does go over this spreadsheet in case you guys can't, you guys are having a hard time navigating it. And I want to make sure that Christian, what is your website? Where can they find you if they have, say they want to book a 20-minute session call with you to talk to you about bookkeeping, tax information, things like that? Where can they find you?
Yeah, my website is www.christianinbrooks.com/bookkeeping. And you can go there. You can find out more information about me, about my business, as well as purchase the spreadsheet. I do offer 30-minute free consultations. So if you want to contact me so we can set something up, info@christianinbrooks.com is my email. Go ahead and shoot me an email and we can continue to chat.
Yep. And I'll make sure that that's in the descriptions. Guys, if you're watching live and you're like anxious about it because it's not updating just yet, shoot me an email at bookkeeperbootcamp@gmail.com. And I'll make sure that you guys get all of Christian's information so you guys can connect with her. Christian, thanks again for taking time out of your day. Thank you guys to all of our people that joined us live. We can't be more grateful to, have you guys join us just to ask questions and keep us, I don't know, on our toes, but I hope to bring more people on for you guys and do a little bit more podcasting to talk to you guys more about it. But join us again. And until then, stay healthy, stay safe, all the things. Christian, you too. Thank you so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge. I can't wait to have you on as a guest again on my podcast. The podcast will roll out. It's called Eat My Assets Podcast. Yeah. I named it that. It's an acronym. It's an acronym. EAT is exclusive access to. So that's an acronym. All right. So, and guys, link in my bio to all the information that I'm sharing. I get to work with Christian. As you know, we work together as colleagues, and she's a great asset to my networking group. If you guys need help with any kind of coaching, bookkeeping things that you guys have questions about, give your girl a call, give Christian a call. I definitely have some really cool stuff coming up in January. If you guys want to come and hang out with me in person for a bookkeepers retreat, check that out in the link in the bio. That's going to be happening January 13th through the 15th here in Scottsdale, Arizona. So you guys can come defrost, Christian, come defrost with us. That's going to be really dope. We're going to be talking about building your empire because, the goal here is that I work with so many people. Achieving 6 figures, even 7 figures is achievable in this game, in this field. It is something that just needs to be crafted. And as the business owner, I think we alluded to that, Christian, is that we have to wear multiple hats. So what's it going to be? And so check that out, guys. I'd love to meet you guys in person. Love for you guys to join me in this bookkeepers retreat. It's going to be super dope. Bookkeeper Bootcamp, our New Year's camp, is unrolling at the end of January. Check that out. All the information and the links in my bio. You guys are definitely going to get Christian's information. Bookkeeper Bootcamp at gmail.com is where to ask if you guys have any more questions. But other than that, thanks again, Christian, and thank all of you for joining us with this live. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye, YouTube.
Bye,
Instagram. See you later.